well-selected carrier is going to meet your needs, but they're all going to do different things. So we want to figure out what your needs are first so we can really hone in on it. This is what you need.
I tried that at the movies and I liked it a lot.
They're awesome. So this is a ring sling. Who's seen something like this? Yeah. These are one of my favorite carriers. I actually still use it a lot with my 3.5-year-old. It's a really, really easy carrier to put on. Same concept for winter as this one. You can slide it on underneath your jacket at home, and then when you get to wherever you're going, just pop baby into a quick tighten, and then you're off and going. They are awesome for around the house, those quick ups, those goes. I always had one that lived in my kitchen, and I have one that lives in my van. The one that lives in my van I use for in and outs. I could never carry a car seat. It just did not work for my body. It hurt me. And so I always used a ring sling. And then, so I could just slide baby in and we can just go. Very, very easy. Also not an ideal carrier as far as exercise goes because we do have that asymmetric support, so it can put some pressure on your core. I do find who had a C-section in the room? One. So your core needs a little bit more stability. So sometimes, and this is not a rule of always, but sometimes with a C-section, the ring sling can cause a little bit more discomfort in your core because you do have to do a little bit more stability. So it's something we're trying not to feel. So but sometimes that happens too with a vaginal birth, depending on how your core is feeling. But a really nice, easy carrier for these teeny tiny babies. They would slip into your center. When they get bigger, they move over to your hip. I always like this one for this kind of class for going out and about too because there's no waistband, so I can sit down. So my baby can go to sleep and I can sit down and I can have my arms. It's also very easy to nurse in. So while I say that, before I forget, nursing in your carrier, awesome. Frees things up. We want to wait a little while though. I like to see babies at about 4 months old. Maybe a little older, maybe a little younger, depending on baby's core. But I want them to have really good, solid torso control. So like because you're not holding his neck, he's doing all of his work right now. I would probably say he's developmentally ready to try nursing. And he's about 4 months? Yeah, so that's what I mean by torso control, right? So we're looking at good, solid torso control, able to hold and maintain that. Because what we're doing is we're dropping the carrier down. So with this one, I'm putting my baby in here. My baby's sitting up nice and tight, and then I'm going to drop it down so my baby's bum is now here and their head's here. And then I'm just going to hold my boob on the outside, and baby's just going to latch onto here. And then when they're done with this one, I would switch shoulders if I wanted to switch breasts. With the 2 shoulder carriers, you can do both breasts at a time. But because we're dropping that carrier and we're asking our baby to nurse upright, I like them to be able to have a little bit more core control, and I want them also to have space to be able to pull their heads back. So I don't want them super wobbly and have the ability to go like this. Bottle feeding in carriers, really straightforward. Put it in their mouth. There's not a lot you need to do. You just want to make sure that you're not kind of holding their head too hard, because you always want to give baby the option to unlatch whatever's in their mouth.